Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Bay Area Let's Talk. I just wanted to start out like I start out every show, and that is recognizing some people who are having birthdays. Birthday shout outs. Want to recognize Gordon Holscher, fellow that I have known since he was coaching down with East Hills Little League, and I was an umpire in chief and a coach also. But Gordon, I later ran into him and met, and we became friends at East Valley Church. East Valley Church in San Jose, and Gordon, the last I heard, he was working at a Toyota, Capital Toyota, as a manager for one of the departments. But I thought I saw something where he may be going to Arizona. So Gordon, happy birthday to you. Then I want to recognize Shell Downing. Shell Shine, as we like to call her now. Shelly lives down in Los Angeles, or at least in Southern California, and is kind of a beach person, but she is also a terrific realtor down there. Shelly, as we called her when we were kids, we went to Antioch. Well, actually, yeah, we went to Antioch Junior High together. We didn't go to high school together because I had moved away. But Shelly, happy birthday, or Shell Shine, happy birthday to you. And then Larry Sanders, who I again met in Antioch at Antioch Junior High. And Larry went on to have a career in the Navy, a veteran. And I believe he retired from the Navy, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, and I am quite often. But Larry, happy birthday to you. And if it's your birthday out there, and I didn't call it out, then we're either not friends on Facebook or you're shy about sharing your birthday. Either way, happy birthday to everyone, and especially you three. Happy birthday. Take a quick look up here. Scott, we are having a good day. It's been a little bit of a rush day. Actually just got back in from the vets, picking up some medication for one of our many animals. So that was a bit of a rush, and then just trying to get everything done and trying to eke it out and finish this day up strong. Let's see if we can do it. But Scott, thank you for looking in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you very much. And Scott, I have met. Scott is out of Florida, if I'm not mistaken, an Air Force veteran. And then also met him through Scott McCain. And then we run into each other quite often on various shows, whether it's Ken Wall's show or the Ken Glenn and a guy named Scott, our friend Jeffrey Gittimer, and then Scott McCain's show. And then I love to have him come in here too. That is awesome. Thank you, Scott. And we're doing 3 shows. We do a Bible study first thing in the morning, or just a Bible reading first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Then at 9 a.m. we do a real estate show. And then this afternoon at 3 o'clock or thereabouts, we do Bay Area Let's Talk. Bay Area Let's Talk. Scott, I am grateful to be your friend. I am truly grateful because you're a good man, and I appreciate it. All right. Well, looks like today we are getting ready for the change in our government. It is going to be a peaceful transfer of power. We had some unfortunate missteps along the way, but we have got to that point again where we are going to make a change. Before we get on to that, I just wanted to list a couple of companies that we do business with, and that is the Grow Live Academy. That is Ken Wall's company. StreamYard.com, who hosts the platform that we are broadcasting on, and Hippo Video, which I am utilizing to talk with all of my clients. And just want to tell you, if you are looking to use a great system, you want to learn about how to do broadcasting or live streaming, go to growliveacademy.com. StreamYard will be highly recommended from Grow Live, and they are an awesome system. And Hippo Video, terrific systems. We really appreciate them, and they are great to work with. So, as I was saying, we're going to have a transfer of power tomorrow. It's something that happens at the end of every president's presidency. Whether it's 4 years, whether it's 8, it happens. This year, we obviously had some problems at the end of the election. We had problems on January 6th, but we are past that now. We're getting ready to move on and make that peaceful transfer of power tomorrow. Now, there are a lot of things that are going to be happening. Number one, I don't know how you feel about this, but we have 25,000, and they say that we're going to have nearly 26 or above 26,000 troops back there, National Guard, guarding the Capitol building, guarding everything around Washington, D.C. They've got it pretty well locked down. So the usual parties that would go on are not going to be happening, at least not in the way they would normally be happening. The mayor back there has decided that she wants everything closed down. And I know for security purposes, we've got the area locked up, but 25,000 troops seems like a bit of overkill. I don't know what you have to say about that. I think it's a bit of overkill for a city that did not want the troops there when their town was being burned, vandalized, fights going on all the time. Didn't want the troops there then, and it was not 25,000 troops, much less than that, but didn't want them there. But we need that peaceful transfer. So tomorrow, President Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris, who is right here from Oakland, California. It is in my opinion, we will have to see what's going to happen. I see that they've already said that they're going to rejoin the Paris Accord tomorrow. I see that we have got people heading towards our United States borders because there's been promises to let people in, that we will no longer be kicking people out. We will no longer be housing people. I don't know how that's going to work out. And I don't know what to expect from the new president and vice president. I do see that at this point they have decided not to say whether the Senate should or should not move forward with impeaching President Trump, who will then be citizen Donald Trump. Seems a little strange that we would go after this president when all we heard 4 years ago was that you should not go after somebody that you were in election against. It looks like sour grapes. Who knows? It is what it is. We know that Washington, D.C. is a tough place, a difficult place. My wife and I talked about this today, and we know that it is dog eat dog. Dog eat dog. That's the way our government runs. And it's a tough, difficult place to get anything done. Now, just about an hour ago, they released a video of what President Trump had to say as his farewell speech. And I want to read just a couple of paragraphs of that. I thought the speech was one of his better speeches. It was very calm. He was very grateful, but I want to just read these. My fellow Americans, 4 years ago, we launched a great national effort to rebuild our country, to renew its spirit, and to restore the allegiance of this government to its citizens. In short, we embarked on a mission to make America great again for all Americans. As I conclude my term as the 45th President of the United States, I stand before you truly proud of what we have achieved together. We did what we came here to do and so much more. This week, we inaugurate a new administration and pray for its success in keeping America safe and prosperous. We extend our best wishes, and we also want them to have luck, a very important word. I'd like to begin by thanking just a few of the amazing people who made our remarkable journey possible. He thanked his family members. And then I also want to thank Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife, Karen, and the entire Pence family. Thank you also to the Chief of Staff Meadows, the dedicated members of the White House staff and cabinet, and all the incredible people across our administration who poured out their heart and soul to fight for America. It was about an 18-minute speech, 20-minute speech, something like that. I thought it was a very good speech. He listed his accomplishments. He listed his administration's accomplishments, which there were many, even though he was fought throughout this time, through his 4 years. There wasn't a battle that wasn't to be found. But I mentioned this morning in our Bible group, and I'm going to mention this again. I think that we should pray for our president as he leaves and his family. Give them thanks, and then wish and pray for our new president and vice president and their administration to do well. I think that's what we have to do, and as good as American citizens, I think that's what we should do. Now, there are going to be some that hate and some that do not like anything that the new president does, and I'm skeptical of what's going to happen, but I want the best for the USA. I want the best for all of us, So I don't know what you think about that, and that's important. That's important. Let me take one quick look up here. I'm afraid to think what our country might look like in 4 years. Scott, I got to tell you, so am I. So am I. Our points of view are so different, from a conservative person to a liberal person to ultra liberal person. They are very much changed. Now, Joe Biden had been basically a moderate Democrat most of his career, but now I believe he has switched and is going to be more to the progressive, very extremely progressive end. And that's where a lot of the feedback is coming from. So I am concerned about that. But we got to pray that everything works out right. I'm very serious that we need to be watching, listening, and making sure that anything that goes on, we're aware of. That we should be paying attention to what's happening with our government, and we should watch it. And if what they do is good for our country, and I'm saying USA first, America first, and then when we're through taking care of America, then work on taking care of the rest of the world. But we have a world of problems here that we need to address. And I am concerned that we're going to give up a lot of things. And we have to watch. We have to watch, number one, I think, what happens with immigration. What happens with the pipeline coming in from Canada? What happens with the Paris Peace Accord or the Paris Climate Accord? What happens with the peace accord or treaty with Iran? Don't know. President Trump did an awful lot of things that were good for our country. And now a lot of those things, they were good, in my opinion, horrible in some other people's opinion. But I think we have to take a look and we have to watch exactly what's happening. I think that President Biden is going to have a lot easier time working in Washington than President Trump has. Because, number one, because of the media. 18 minutes after Trump was inaugurated 4 years ago, the Washington Post said their headline is, "The impeachment has begun." And it went all downhill from there. And then it was attack after attack after attack. Why was he so upset with the press? Could be something like that. It could be what we've seen. And I just pray that, you know what? Let Joe Biden do what he needs to do to get through these 4 years. If he can make it through 4 years. We've got Kamala Harris, who is vice president, has been our attorney general in California. And she took care of what needed to be done in some cases. But it swung very far to the left. And I believe that's what's going to happen now. It's going to be tough. Here we are with the Senate that's split 50-50. Split 50-50. So she'll have the deciding vote when they need a 51st vote on those items that can pass with only a majority of votes. So we've got to take a look at it. We have to see what's going to happen. We have to look at what's going to happen with the U.S. over these next 4 years. And it's very important. And it's very important that we remember and contrast Trump presidency versus Biden presidency, and which is going to be tied in very much so with the Obama presidency, because a lot of people from the Obama White House are also going to be part of this team in the Joe Biden administration. They may not have been key players, but they were assistants to those key players, and some of them were there. So we have to keep an eye on everything and remind people that our government is actually working for us. Even though it doesn't feel like it most of the time, they are working for us. I know there's a lot of celebrations planned for the Bay Area. Can't really get together because everyone's has to stay at home. We can't gather more than a few people at a time. So I sincerely wish Joe Biden and Kamala Harris all the best. I don't want their agenda to go through, but what I want is for America to be able to come together and try and get some of this stuff done. If it needs to be stopped, then we need to stop it. And then in 2 years, there's more elections and we'll see what we can do there. And then in 4, another president. We will see. We will see. We'll see what the world has for us. Hey, let's talk about some better things for the Bay Area. There's nothing bigger than what's happening tomorrow in the U.S. Honestly, there is nothing bigger than what's going on. But last night, the Golden State Warriors beat the LA Lakers 115-113. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a basketball fan by any stretch of the imagination, but my wife is. She loves it. She loves it. And I was a bandwagon fan for several years, but I like it when my wife's happy. Like it when she has something to smile about. And last night, when the Warriors were down by 20 points, they still came back and beat the Lakers and could have lost if LeBron James 3-point shot at the buzzer didn't go in. So, Warriors, congratulations. I think they may have already won more games than they did all of last year. So congratulations. This morning in my real estate course, we were talking about what happened in 2020 versus 2019 and what we finished up with, taking a look at December of 2020 versus December of 2019. And I just want to read what happened here. Inventory was down 26% from November, but up 21% from December 2019, with 686 homes being sold. Days on the market was about 21 days for a home to be on the market. Closed sales dipped from November, but were up by 29% of December 2019. And here's one of the biggest things. In Santa Clara County, the median single-family home cost $1,375,000 and sold in 9 days for 104% of list price. In December, our single-family homes, 1,375,000. I believe there was a 500 in there too. So we finished 2020 absolutely strong. So sellers, you've got a great market to look at. You have got a great market right now where it's normally a slow period. It is still roaring along. Hey, I caught this story and it comes from Christmas time. And I just saw it today. But the story is a 23-year-old man reunites with his missing homeless father on Christmas Eve after 16 years. This 23-year-old man went out looking for his father. He knew that he was alive somewhere. He just had no idea exactly where. And this came from Liverpool, England. How amazing is that? This young man tried to find his missing father, and they were reunited after 16 years. The story is a good long story. There were a lot of tears, a lot of joy, and when the son first saw the father turned and ran. And the son went chasing him saying, "Dad, it's me, Jason." Eventually it started to sink in, and I caught up and walked beside him, Jason recounted. When he recognized me, he started asking about the family, and he was trying to remember my birthday. They both became very emotional. Our eyes were swelling with tears as we hugged. I hadn't technically seen him since I was 7 years old, but when I was 12, I spotted him out on the road by my house. Now the two are rebuilding their relationship a little bit at a time. On Christmas Day, Jason brought his father a plate of Christmas dinner after spending the day with his mom, brother, and sister. He also gifted the man a cell phone so they could keep in touch from that day on. I'm so happy to report that he's safe and well. This is an absolute Christmas miracle, and I thank everyone involved in finding him. He added, "It made both of our Christmases. Words cannot do it justice." So I didn't get into the meat of the story, but I just wanted something happy to share. Now, I'm going to flip around and I'm going to take a look at this day in rock history, because we want to finish up strong. And there is a lot of stuff that's going on. There's a lot of birthdays today. Phil Everly, him and his brother Don were the Everly brothers. He was born on this date in 1939. One of their big hits was "All I Have to Do Is Dream." Oh, what was the other one? There were several hits, but "Wake Up Little Susie." 1943 on this date, Janis Joplin was born in Port Arthur, Texas. I'm a huge Janis Joplin fan. And Janis Joplin died in 1970, October 4th, 1970. She was part of a couple of different bands around here, and it was Big Brother and the Holding Company and the Cosmic Blues Band. And they had some great hits. That lady had just an outrageous voice, and I just loved her. But she lived that wild life and died young. 1946, Dolly Parton was born in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. I remember first seeing her on the Porter Wagner show when I was a kid. Had a girlfriend named Jodine, and my mother got on the phone and sang Jodine instead of Jolene to her. That was a fun time. And then one of the biggest hits that she had was 9 to 5. and movie. And then I'll always remember Islands in the Stream. We went to see her and Kenny Rogers together, and it was a great show. 1949 on this date, Robert Palmer is born in Batley, England. Robert Palmer. And he had some incredible hits. Think of the videos. Johnny Cash made his first network appearance in 1957. The Beatles in 1963 made their first national TV appearance in the UK on a show called Thank Your Lucky Stars. They played Please Please Me. The Beatles' White Album on this date in 1971 was played in the courthouse for the Sharon Tate murders. They wanted to know what this album was saying. I'm sure that everyone remembers the Sharon Tate murders, and then the people that did the killing reference this album, or referenced at least one song on this album. 1974, Al Wilson went to number 1 on the U.S. charts with Show and Tell. 1977 on this date, Aretha Franklin performs God Bless America at an inaugural Eve event. 1978, Johnny Rotten was fired from the Sex Pistols. 1980, Pink Floyd's The Wall started a 15-week run at number 1. Number 1 on the U.S. album charts. 1993 on this date at a pre-inaugural gala, Fleetwood Mac reunited and sang Don't Stop, played Don't Stop. Thinking About Tomorrow, the unofficial campaign song. In 1993, the Supreme Court holds up a $2.5 million lawsuit by Tom Waits. Tom Waits, the singer, because they had decided to find somebody with the Tom Waits voice and use him for a commercial. They just wanted someone to sound like him. And he had sued Frito-Lay and the company that was doing marketing for him and won. Crazy. 2001, Paul McCartney was going to become the first pop star to become a billionaire on this date. On this date in 2003, Norah Jones had a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album charts with Come Away With Me, also a number 1 in the UK. And I'll never forget it because my son he loved Norah Jones, and we certainly heard that many times. 2006, Wilson Pickett dies of a heart attack. I hope everyone remembers Wilson Pickett. Mustang Sally, After Midnight. What a sensation this soul singer was. Rhythm and blues artist. What an amazing talent. I just loved him. 2007 on this date, Denny Doherty of the Mamas and the Papas passes away. He had had a short illness, and everyone remembers Mama and the Papas. Monday, Monday, California Dreamin'. And then finally, 2008, singer-songwriter Jon Stewart, who wrote the Monkees hit Daydream Believer and had a huge hit himself called California Gold in 1979. He had also been part of a trio for quite a long time, and it is slipping my mind who it was. But he was a fantastic writer and singer and performer and storyteller. So Jon Stewart, we all remember you. At least this guy does. Scott, that was a wonderful story about that father and son reuniting. You know, I'm one of those guys that grew up and whose father left home. So that story, anytime that there's a good reuniting, means a lot, means the world. And I thought, you know what? I'm glad I ran across this story. I am glad I ran across this story. Well, that is it for today. Bay Area Let's Talk. I look forward to tomorrow. And hopefully I can lean over a sink and possibly shave, and we'll see. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in, tuning in. Scott, I certainly appreciate it. And if you'd like to share this out, we'd love that. And if you're watching on a replay, please stop on by. We are going to start having interviews coming up soon. We have got a lot of guests to go ahead and set dates with. We're going to be talking with local businesses, political figures, and folks from the community about what's happening and what we can do to help their businesses in the Bay Area. So have a great day. Scott Ricard, you have a great evening. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. This is Bay Area Let's Talk, and this is Charles Coachman. Have a great night. Goodbye.